Hello, everybody. This is Gregory with 5 Minute Catholic Apologetics, where 5 minutes of your time it may get you to the divine. Today, we're going to talk about pilgrimages and where would you like to go on a Catholic pilgrimage, and I'll give you my top 2 or 3. Now, before we begin, let's start with a prayer. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritui Sancti. Amen. Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto, secutora in principio et nunc et semper, et to seculi seculorum. Amen. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritui Sancti. Amen. A couple of things. You might notice I'm doing less apologetics episodes. Well, I have like 120 in the back catalog, so of course you're going to run out of topics. So you're going to see me doing more of the Catholic living kind of episodes like this because, again, they're relatable. Now, Catholic pilgrimages or pilgrimages in general, I would really like to know in the comments, where have you gone? Where would you like to go? I have been blessed to have gone to quite a few. And partly because either family took me when I was younger or when I was older, I went on my own volition. So when I was under, let's say, the age of 18, I did go to our Virgin of Guadalupe, the Basilica. I went there when I was in 1994 when I was 20, and I know they've put in this conveyor belt now, so they can't make people congregate underneath it. So you go underneath and it moves you along. You can look at it and then you have to go all the way around. So I've done that. When I was in college, I spent a summer in San Sebastian, Spain, and I made sure during that time to go to Lourdes, where Our Lady visited Saint Bernadette. And then later, I went with my ex-wife on a religious pilgrimage tour. We did Lourdes again. This was 8 years later, and we went to Fatima. And on that tour as well, we went to see Saint Bernadette's incorruptible body in Nevers, a small city in France. So if you don't know, an incorruptible, and there's a few saints, maybe a couple hundred, whose bodies, they bury them, and then like 100 years later, they unearth them, and they're incorruptible. They're not corrupted. They're not essentially maggot food. So you can go to this church. I'll post a picture of her, what it looks like, and you can see her tomb. And there's several, like I said, scores of saints who have uncorruptible bodies. Where else? I have been to Rome twice. One on a honeymoon and then one about 5 years ago. And I have been to Santiago of Compostela, which is the terminus route of the El Camino de Santiago, which most people have walked. So those, I think, off the top of my head, are the big ones that I have gone to. Now, where would I like to go? Well, the obvious one is going to be Jerusalem. Now, I am ambivalent about Jerusalem because I am not a big fan of the Israeli government. Now, you guys, whoa, Gregory's anti-Semitic. No. Israel is a secular state. If you look at the history of Zionism, like Alexander Herzl and these guys from the late 19th century, they were founded essentially by Marxists. The state of Israel is not really openly supportive of Christianity. Now, you guys might be shocked by this, but they really don't allow evangelism in the state of Israel, and it is a very secular country. Even the Jews that live there, most of them Ashkenazi, are very left and not practicing Jews, and this is one of the things that most people don't know about. Yeah, sure, there are Hasidic Jews there, but a lot of the country of Israel has nothing to do with the Israelites of the Bible, but that's a separate topic. So I definitely want to go and see the way of the cross and see the Holy Sepulchre, the tomb where Jesus was buried, and there's tons of Marian sites. You can go to Nazareth. I mean, there's tons of places you can go to. But I'm a little torn on that. I'm not really worried about the violence there, but I'm just kind of torn on, like, do I want to give my money to the state of Israel? This is one of the reasons why I'll never go to China, because I do not want to give a dime to a regime that has 1 million people in concentration camps, forced labor, castration. They eat aborted fetuses as a delicacy, and of course, one-child policy, and they have concentration camps, and so that's a separate topic. Marian sites. I would not go to Medjugorje. It's never been approved. I know some of you like Medjugorje. Again, the bishop never approved it going back 30 years. It's never been a Vatican-approved site. La Salette, I might go there because La Salette, Our Lady of La Salette, did envision that there would be a mass apostasy coming out of Rome. Maybe that is prescient, considering what's going on now with Rome. I'm not saying that the church isn't false, isn't mass apostasy. I'm not a sedevacanist or anything like that, but I don't know. It's way above my pay grade either way. And plus, it's in France. And then probably what I would like to do, I would go back to Rome. Okay, but I guess number one would be Jerusalem. I just like going to Europe, so I think number one would be walking the Camino. I did spend a lot of time in northern Spain. It is my favorite part of Spain because it's cooler and I just don't like heat. So doing the walk from the French border, and if you guys don't know, Santiago is where the bones of St. James are buried, and there's a lot of miraculous things that have happened at that church in Santiago de Compostela. And so since the Middle Ages, it was a very popular pilgrimage site because clearly a lot of people couldn't go to Jerusalem. And then Rome was kind of an extravagance for many people in terms of they could afford. And so some people went and did the Camino. So I probably want to do the Camino because I like walking, I like hiking, I'm in good shape. And just the idea, especially if no electronics, every 20 miles or so there's a pension or a parador where you can stay. And just kind of checking out of technology and just walking this path that my Catholic ancestors have walked. My family is from Spain too, so I think that'd be meaningful. So I think number one would be doing the Camino if I could walk it, and then number two would probably be Jerusalem. I'd like to hear from you guys. Where would you like to go on your pilgrimage sites? Would it be Ephesus, where the house of Mary and John is located? Would you like to go to Constantinople, now known as Istanbul, Avignon? Where would you like to go? I'd like to hear from you. Please hit the notification, subscribe, and share button. Share with other people. Until next time, take care, God bless, and pray.